Jadi korang layan dulu benda announcement ni. Saya nak pergi solat lagi 30 minit lah. Right back. Ni. Right back.
Kami々よ、ご覧ください。オンパロスは勝利を収め、再創期が間もなく訪れます。しかし、本当にそうでしょうか。
最近エルシオンの景色がまぶたの裏をよぎるんだ。
最後の一人になったとしても再創生の偉業を成し遂げてください。
新世界は必ず訪れる。黎明を灯す。星々を燃やし尽くす。諸行をもたらそう。
第1回キノコニ聖杯戦争開幕。
とあなたが私のマスターか。燃え立て騎士の魂よ、暴風よ舞い上がれ。
もう少し手応えがあると思ったらね。機は熟した。逃げ場はない。
あらゆる邪悪を打ち滅ぼせセイバー。
汝は開白の黎明が訪れるまで灼熱の太陽を背負い続ける。
死者を花から呼び出して殺し合わせて勝者が全てを手に入れる。
行かなくちゃいけない。背負わないといけないんだ。
キノコニーの伝説はあれど英雄はいないと。
お任せを。
私見ました。壊滅。これにて完成。宝石の余震をもって来世に暁を。
Hey, Mr. Albert?
Hello.
Owlbert.
Woo! And whether or not you have a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the version 3.4 for The Sun is Set to Die special program. I'm your most beloved host, Albert.
Rebooting really does solve all problems. Now we can introduce ourselves. Hi, everyone. I'm phainon. I'm so happy to be on the special program.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anaxagoras.
Nice to see all of you again. Did you miss me?
Oh, of course we missed you. Well, dear guests, welcome to the show. I have been looking forward to this special program more than anything else. The way the story in the last version left off had my heart racing.
The burning sky and the fall of dawn. Akuma was the last place under Kefali's protection, but now it has also sunk into Evernight.
All of our Chrysosair companions did everything in their power to buy precious time for the Trailblazer and phainon, so they could return the very last core flame to the vortex of Genesis.
We already found out the truth, so what do a few sacrifices matter? Every Chrysos heir was prepared for this. You just need to boldly take that last step toward the Era Nova.
But in the trailer just now, it seems like phainon is gonna go through a lot. I saw a few scenes that looked like flashbacks, and I think I even saw a different form of him.
The truth of Amphoris is about to reveal itself. I assume everyone can already tell that all that's happened in Amphoris is not as simple as it seems.
Indeed. For example, when we went to fight Aquila, we noticed that the Eye of Twilight seemed unusually high-tech.
And when the Dawn device went out, many of the structures in Akuma and the Vortex of Genesis started showing strange textures. It was like the whole world was peeling off.
Why don't we take a look back at our whole journey so far in Amphoris and lay out our suspicions and clues we have. First, at the end of the 3.3 story, the geniuses reveal that the source of Amphoris' tragedy is an Emperor's scepter that survived to this day.
It has something to do with that erudition god beyond the sky, doesn't it? Even though I don't quite understand these principles, this breeding ground, which switched from following the path of erudition to the path of destruction, must be hiding secrets beyond the Era Nova.
Ada benda terlepas ke?
In addition,
Tak ada buang,
that Tin Man Lygist is also pretty suspicious. He and phainon had a pretty significant conversation in the Vortex of Genesis.
Actually, I was already suspicious of him when he said he could fix the Express and send the Trailblazers back home. Well, the mask is coming off now.
Based on my interactions with him, Lygist doesn't seem to have any desire to oppose the Chrysos heirs. Rather, he only wishes to quietly observe everything as it unfolds.
Could it be that everything that's happened so far is exactly what he wanted to see? That title, Theoros, does mean spectator.
Nanti aku nak tengok balik ya.
Combine this information with what we know about the relationship between the scepter and paths, maybe Amphoris is being used as a chessboard by people from beyond this world, and Lygist is one of them.
Oh, you're exactly right. If the situation in the cosmos is like a game of chess, then Amphoris is a trap to set up the checkmate. But who knows? Maybe the chess pieces themselves can overturn the board. The hero's Era Nova could affect the worlds beyond the sky and the Trailblazers' choices.
Macam komputer ke ni?
Future of the universe.
But before the Era Nova actually arrives, there's no way to tell what it will bring. The Trailblazers have already done so much for Amphoris. I don't want them to have to experience the unknown of Era Nova.
As someone from beyond the sky, they already risked a lot by taking on a demigod's divine authority. If something were to happen in the Era Nova...
No, we can't let them stay. They have to listen to phainon and go home.
Well said. The Trailblazers won't betray the sincerity you've shown them. However, their fate will still be tied to that of Amphoris. They'll be returning to the battlefield with a very important mission.
On the other hand, I suspect many of our audience members, like me, have some questions about phainon. That phainon we saw in the Vortex of Genesis at the end of the 3.3 story? Why was his name hidden?
Well, maybe that phainon isn't the one we're all familiar with. But I'll leave the specific details for everyone to find out themselves in the game in version 3.4. I've actually got some other information to reveal to you.
What kind of information?
Following the story's progress, as I've written, we'll receive a big update in this version. In these records that we've kept, you will be able to catch a glimpse of Amphoris' true nature.
Before, as I've written, was
Kenapa
like
dia
a
blur?
storybook, keeping record of our friends' stories. Now, even its appearance has changed. It feels like something big is about to happen.
It looks like it's turned into some kind of database.
You can use this system to unlock even more of Amphorius' secrets.
Yang tu dia blur.
That's right.
True.
Aside from the major updates too, as I've written, the long-awaited skip dialogue feature, which was previously announced, is finally going live in version 3.4.
Dah ada button skip.
Dialogue can now be skipped by section, with plot summaries and the main characters
Dia blur kan.
displayed along the way.
Dia blur kan.
You can choose the pace of storytelling based on your own preference.
By the way, sound semua okey ya?
In 3.6,
Kuat sangat ke atau okey ya?
be a story recap function. Stay tuned. But of course, as we move into version 3.4, we shall take the final step of the prophecy together and witness
Suara dia punya rambut dia jadi warna kuning.
and the myriad celestia that Mr. Shao Ji hinted at in the version 3.2 preview is finally going live soon.
Oh, you mean what's happening beyond the sky? Is it also related to Amphorius and Era Nova?
We'll have to keep it a secret for now. Meanwhile, we'll be releasing an animated short. This animated short contains a very important part of the story in version
Phainon
3.4.
Phainon
Can't spill too much here, but I can give you a little teaser. This short will come with its own original theme song.
Aku rasa ni mungkin sama dengan ni kot. Stories.
I can't wait to dive into the new story already.
Dalam cerita nanti mesti ada anime lagi ni.
Turn our attention to our good friend Viden.
Yang Genshin mana anime dia?
Story together.
Genshin punya anime mana oi? Tu dia Phainon. Asal tempat dia macam dekat macam dekat Inazuma punya ataupun Liwei punya tempat. Asal macam kita kat Phainon dekat Genshin. Oi bapak dah. Tukar ulti dia macam tu. Hey, ikut genuine. Semua ability bapak dah. Efek-efek dia. Apa dia jadi Anon God Genshin ni? Aku rasa confirm. Dia jadi Anon God dia.
What world happened to Phainon to make him change this much?
Physical.
Nothing like the warm, sunny person we all know. Now he seems strange and formidable.
Oh, could you elaborate?
I remember when our buddy first showed up in Amphorius. Phainon was one of the first Chrysosairs to genuinely welcome them. And when danger came knocking, he always had our backs.
But behind that kindness and reliability, Phainon carries the expectations of many. He is the deliverer chosen by the prophecy, and Aglaya's hand-picked successor of the flame chase journey. Aglaya even used her own death to set him up for success by making the Council of Elders the focus of criticism, and allowing Phainon to step up and rally the people.
Yeah, all of us have high hopes for him. Some even call him the Deliverer of Amphorius.
Kucing tu.
And Cypher, who
Tak tahu.
barely ever showed her face, used to call him
Ada
Real
satu lagi.
Deliverer Boy.
Dia macam benda lah apa tak nama.
Just assumes that he'll be a savior.
Shimiji. Dia macam Shimiji.
What was Spider like before he joined the flame chase journey?
Macam Shimiji punya benda.
Perfect kids everyone got compared to.
Tengok kanan bawah tu pun macam
Journey.
komputer punya
We've got to go back to my hometown.
taskbar.
Elysiae. It was a small, remote village,
Nampak ni macam Liwei.
far away from the chaos.
Ni confirm Liwei.
Ooh, sounds like a real peaceful place.
Oh ni Elysiae.
Was.
Apa bukan apa nama?
Though the village was small, everyone got along really well.
Phainon.
There were also beautiful rivers and mountains, and even a forest. That forest was home to all kinds of little fairies. When I was little, I'd go exploring the woods and visit those cute fairies. When I wasn't exploring, I'd go play with my friends by the sea. We pretended to be heroes from the old stories and practiced our swordsmanship. When we got tired, we
Hi.
would lie down in the wheat fields until we got called home for dinner.
No strife, no invaders, or any of that deliverance crisis stuff?
Mana orang semua?
Seems like a complete paradise.
The wheat fields look gorgeous too. lying there surrounded by golden waves of wheat, with the breeze carrying that sweet malted scent. Oh,
Ada orang
just
sangat.
thought of it is enough to get me excited.
And guess what? You won't have to imagine for long. In version 3.4, we get to explore ID's Elysiae alongside the Trailblazer.
Itulah Eddie. Apa tak nama?
Became a warrior, joined the flame chase, and grew into the person he is today.
Can't wait!
From a carefree little kid to the deliverer carrying everyone's hopes. You've really come a long way.
These days, phainon just gives off this heaviness.
Macam
he's
block
still
dia.
press on no matter how exhausted, just to live up to everyone's expectations.
Amphorus needed a hero, so he became one. The Chrysos heirs needed hope and a leader, so that's who he became. Looking back at the main art for this version, even though Phainon's face is still the same, his whole vibe has shifted. His gaze is now sharp and commanding.
Ni last ke?
Completely different from
Cerita?
before. Now we're
Main
just one
cerita
step away from
phainon.
Aranova.
Apa? Amphorus.
Or told.
Salah.
The deepest truths of Amphorus are about to come to light. What trials lie ahead, and what choices will Phainon make?
A hero's journey is never easy. But if the will in your heart is strong enough, no fire can burn you out. If anything, every trial is just a forge for an even brighter soul. I am more than ready.
Well said. Then let's let everyone experience it all themselves in version 3.4. Now let's take a look at how Phainon performs in battle.
You got it. I'll first show up in the familiar form everyone knows. When using my skill, I'll deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. The use of my skill also grants me core flames. Once I've collected enough of them, I can activate my ultimate.
Wait, so core flames only come from using your skill?
Not at all.
Dia tak pakai energy.
Also gain core flames when he's selected as a target by a teammate or enemy ability. If he is the target of a teammate's ability, Phainon will deal even more damage.
When I use my ultimate, I'll create a territory and transform.
After transforming, Phainon powers up massively. Teammates temporarily retreat
Solo.
and take action while he faces the enemy head-on with
Nyawa dia tebal, Mat.
strength.
All alone? That sounds way too risky.
Ah, gempak sat design dia.
Worries. All the talents and buffs from Phainon's teammates still stay active to provide him with much-needed support.
Ada 3 skill.
After using the core flames to transform, I have access to the powers of 3 kinds of titans: creation, calamity, and foundation, each with a brand new ability.
Care to elaborate on that?
Tapping into the power of the creation titans, I can deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. Calling upon the power of the calamity titans, I'll enter a special state called Soul Scorch. In this state, I'll force all enemies to immediately take action, during which I receive reduced damage, and each hit I take builds up the Soul Scorch stack. Once all enemies have taken action, I retaliate, dealing damage to all enemies and then unleashing multiple instances of damage on one random enemy.
Heads up. The more Soul Scorch stacks he's got, the stronger that counterattack hits.
Using these 2 abilities also grants me an exclusive charge called Scourge, which fuels my 3rd ability. With the power of the Foundation Titans, I dispel all debuffs on myself, then use Scourge Charge to deal bounce damage. If I've maxed out the consumable Scourge Charge, I also slam all enemies
Dia
with
bukan
extra
jatuhkan
damage.
batu planet sekali.
Actions have been used up.
Dia jatuh ke planet sekali.
Final blow hitting all enemies before removing the territory. Phainon's technique is pretty unique too. Upon
Lapan!
casting it, Phainon instantly strikes all enemies in a certain radius. If they're normal enemies, they're immediately wiped out
Dia
without
makan
even triggering.
dia makan 2.
Wait, all enemies? That's nuts.
Of course,
Dia vacuum
power
macam
comes
tu je.
with cost. This technique consumes 2 technique points.
If the technique misses, it won't cost any points. Plus, when Phainon's
Satu lagi version Acheron.
goes up by 3.
When I use my technique to enter combat, I'll also regenerate energy for my teammates. In addition, at the start of each wave, I'll deal damage to all enemies and gain Scourge.
Oh, I see.
Alright.
Tapi macam lambat nak dapatkan ulti.
It's time to bring you some
Kena build the speed.
familiar faces.
Setiap kali skill dia tambah macam 2.5
Blade,
ulti punya stack.
You are all
Kita
getting
pakai energy kan.
enhancements.
Let's go!
Macam nak kena ada speed banyak tu.
Please do tell us
Ataupun
what's
ada
changed.
teammate macam tadi lah, Bronya dengan Sunday cepat.
After the optimizations, her ultimate now lowers the defense of all enemies instead of just one.
Yeah.
It's AoE now, not single target.
Tapi still aku tak nak pull.
Meanwhile, she'll prioritize
Malah.
weakness that matches the type of the first character in your lineup. On top of that, Silverwolf will regenerate extra energy at the start of combat and the beginning of each turn.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier to apply the weakness we actually want.
Kali ni bukan randomize. Kali ni dia pilih karakter nombor 1 slot.
Will trigger more
Ikut elemen no, karakter nombor 1.
and whenever a teammate hits an enemy target with any kind of attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack. After launching
Follow-up.
certain traces, the follow-up attack can also trigger extra DOT on the enemy. And using her ultimate, recovers
Aku rasa DOT akan comeback balik
So basically, Kafka's got more
Lagi-lagi ada karakter baru nanti tu.
better efficiency applying debuffs and
Physical nihility.
DOT output.
Yeah, for sure.
And now for Blade. After the
Blade.
update, he will deal damage to enemies based on his max HP. When Blade enters the Hellscape state, he is more likely to be attacked, and his follow-up attacks will regenerate extra energy.
Sounds like Blade can trigger more follow-ups and use his
Haunting
ultimate
tinggi
wall,
lah.
meaning his total damage output's gonna spike.
Good observation. A change will happen to Jing Liu as well. Now,
Jing Liu bersama ha.
enemies based on her max HP.
Aku nak kena ambil high scene
Teammate loses
sebab dia HP scaler sekarang.
Jing Liu stacks extra crit damage. After she enters the spectral transmigration state, she'll also gain a
What?
stack of syzygy. That means the spectral transmigration state lasts longer, and her overall damage output climbs even higher accordingly.
Our old friends sure are getting some solid upgrades.
But
But with all these ability reworks, won't their Eidolons be affected?
Oh, don't worry, Professor Anaxa. Some of our old friends' Eidolons will be tweaked to better match the revamped kits, making sure everything stays in sync.
aku nak tengok balik. Aku nak baca semua tu.
Their previous
Nanti nak tengok balik live announcement ni.
That won't be a problem. You can switch between our friends' ability modes freely.
Kenapa nak
Whichever
tutup?
version you like best.
Kenapa nak
For more
tutup?
details,
Enhance.
keep an eye out for
Buat apa
official
tutup?
announcements.
Sounds good.
Buat apa tutup?
Aside from
Kita
the
nak kuatkan.
works,
Tak payah tutup.
more old friends
Permanentkan je.
getting something new this time around.
Boleh pula ada option
Oh,
nak tutup.
who is it?
In version 3.4, Firefly's brand new outfit, Spring Missive, is making its debut.
Firefly punya skin.
Look at that.
Outfit baru.
Ooh, let's take
Skin?
a look at the video clip first.
Skin? Firefly punya skin. Oh, dia punya robot pun ada. Ada sikit lah.
Uniform on. Firefly looks more
Ada ubah sikit je. Dia punya robot dia.
Firefly-shaped brooch on her chest. You can tell she put a lot of thought into picking it out.
Ini first time ke karakter dapat skin
Stellaron hunter.
selain daripada Mark 7?
Now, Miss Kafka does have an eye for style. They must have talked a lot about it behind the scenes.
Ni karakter 5-star
Rebecca
pertama.
makeover. You think she spruces it up during downtime to match her outfit changes?
Oh, totally possible. If I had a mech, I'd also probably coordinate it with my outfit. New theme, new colors. The whole look has to be consistent. You'll be able to grab Firefly's new look from the contract shop using Oniric shards. And again, please stay tuned for further details and future official announcements.
Agak yang berapa harga dia.
Look at this version's banners.
Okay, banner.
For his first half warp event, Trailblazers can acquire the limited 5-star character phainon. And the limited 5-star light cone, thus burns the dawn, will have a boosted drop rate. Also, a brand new 4-star light cone for the Path of Remembrance, the story's next page, is being added to the first half banner. At the same time, we'll also kick off
Ada
a
tiga,
special
Mat.
warp event. The limited 5-star characters. Treeby, Sunday, and Sparkle are coming back. Plus, 5-star light cones if time were a flower, a grounded ascent, and earthly escapade will return as well. In the second half of version 3.4,
boy.
another round of special warp events. Limited 5-star characters, Firefly, Jingliu, and Blade will be back along with the limited 5-star light cones. Whereabouts your dreams rest, I shall be my
Amboy.
sword and the unreachable.
Ni ada banyak. Aku dah macam terbiasa dah dengan banyak banner ni disebabkan HSR.
A comeback in this version. What about Kafka and
Dah macam tak terkejut dah ada banyak banner.
Sneak peek. Limited 5-star characters, Kafka and Silver Wolf will be back in version 3.5. And
Kafka 3.5.
is all you need, and Incessant Rain will
Patch selepas ni lah.
Nice!
Also, 8 new 4-star light cones will be added to the Nameless Honor rewards in version 3.4.
Hey, budak Mayday.
a few familiar faces on the light.
Teenage
There are
Phainon.
versions of Chrysos heirs.
Budak Hycene.
Really does enjoy spending his days
apa
in the
tu?
wheat fields.
Anak sar
Nature's mattress.
Ni budak.
Can't beat that level of comfort.
Itu Cyrene. Macam mana tak sebut nama?
Alright,
Budak 3B. Oh, dia memang budak pun.
3.4 content coming your way.
Budak aku dah lupa nama ni Cypher. Kod kedua. Mana. Ada banyak banner. Dan semuanya saya skip. Mana apa nama ni? Collab banner. Aku nak tu je. Aku tak nak yang lain. Betul lah kod dia ni. Yang betul lah kod dah. Yep, kalau salah bagi tahu. Buat masa ni. Skip button ada dah. Dah ada skip button lah. Untuk HSR ni dah ada skip button. Lepas tu ada summary. Kalau main WoW tu lebih kurang macam tu lah. Kalau main WoW dia ada ni. Ada skip button, ada summary dia sekali. Ringkasan cerita perbualan tu. Itu yang dia buat lah dekat HSR ni.
Welcome back.
Benda yang sama. Oh boy, event yang sama. Event ni ada balik.
Comes from Penacony at the other end of the cosmos. Origami Bird
Benefit tak tahu ada ke tak
in version 3.4.
Ada, betul-betul ada skip button.
Is that the cute match 3 game?
Betul-betul ada skip button tadi.
The International Peace Corporation has officially sponsored Origami Bird Clash and hopes to promote this
Baik tu. Bagus juga dah.
flavor throughout the whole cosmos.
Aku bukan nak skip cerita. Aku nak macam perbualan dia tu tak perbualan kosong tu je. Kadang karakter dia bual kosong. Jadi macam tak penting. Aku rasa better kalau ada skip button yang bagi ringkasan better. Itu je. Bukan nak skip terus tak nak layan cerita langsung.
You can also get extra
Candy Crush punya event ni. Ni boleh lawan dengan player dah.
elimination.
Oh no! I see obstacles popping up on the field.
Tengok kat sini, tengok sama. Tengok cerita kat YT je.
Not to worry. In this version of the Origami Bird Clash, there will be lots of new items that can help
Ada
you.
benda baru.
For example, Shattering Hammer can eliminate any individual fruit or obstacle. Spicy Bomb can turn a fruit into a bomb, and Reset Cube
Benefit has been cancelled. Collab kena cancel sebab ada orang leak. Aku rasa aku boleh faham lah kenapa kan.
You can turn the tide and deliver a
Siapa suka leak?
There are plenty of familiar faces among our opponents this time.
Ada.
Trailblazers can still battle against
Diorang bagi tahu yang tadi permulaan live.
in addition to
Dia
participating
bagi tahu bermula 3.4 continuation story.
the universe.
Cakap bercerita pasal Herta dengan film. Ada button skip.
Bird class will replace the seal
Dia
slammer
tunjuk summary sekali. Jadi
become the new
bagus.
long-term co-op game mode.
Serius lah. Jangan percaya.
Seals. Now it's time for
Jangan percaya yang tu.
birds.
Alright, let us continue with more version content. Our old friend Gift of Honesty.
Macam biasa, memang kita perlukan pun benda lah ni.
4.4.
Banyak banner jadi memang kita perlukan ni.
Some of the strange events will also return.
Dia pun ada
Challenges to get double rewards.
double
Yep. In version 3.4,
Tak sabar nak dapat double sampah.
shape of cinders will
Wind
also
type.
come online. And you can obtain the Ascension
Saber?
material, Charred Blood of
Saber?
Twilight, for
Saber?
wind characters upon completing the challenge.
Saber? Saber?
Same time, the
Allah, ada baru punya.
Arcadia of Woven Dreams and Revelry by the Sea.
Itu gambar mem tengah tidur.
Trailblazers can obtain them in the Divergent universe.
Itu pelana mem tidur tu.
In addition, I'd like to share with you some information about a few events outside the game. First, the annual Hoyo Fest Offline exhibition
Hoyo Fest.
will begin in July. This year's event venues have been completely
Tapi masanya berbayar.
The events will be held in core cities in 6 Southeast Asian countries.
That's right.
Rasanya berbayar kali ni.
Of event missions and new merchandise.
Dia pakai hall apa tah.
Details about the events and tickets.
In addition, Honkai Star Rail will be joining Anime Expo this July.
Anime!
Star Rail booth and claim free
Genshin, oi.
gifts.
Oi.
Panel for Honkai Star Rail will also be held at Anime Expo, featuring several special guests.
Please keep an eye
Voice
out for more
actor phainon, voice actor Trebi.
See you at Anime Expo.
Yang selebihnya aku tak kenal.
Thank you all for your kind introductions. Let me see. We're almost out of time. We'll move it on to our next show in just a sec.
Collab.
You seem mighty busy, Albert.
Collab.
Well, I am a professional super host.
Collab.
Going on?
Oh, goodness, Albert.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Time yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, benda lain tak? Oh tak, never mind. Betul lah. Yang ni lah.
As the concept of a holy grail. Welcome to the live stage of the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works
Yeah.
Collab Special Program.
Long time no see, everyone. I'm Aventurine from the Interastral Peace Corporation.
Howdy, Galaxy Ranger Boot Hill, at your service.
Welcome, both of you. I, Albert, have apparently been summoned by the Holy Grail.
Next patch.
This show's host today.
Albert, could your class...
Patch ni lah maksudnya. Patch nanti ni. Akan ada.
Son of a gun. That's funny.
Maybe you two can call me presenter instead. That sounds nicer.
Well, presenter doesn't sound half bad.
Dua-dua free.
In that case, why don't we resolve the situation?
Sebaik mana macam aku nak dua-dua free.
What you meant by...
Aku rasa diorang nak untung juga masalahnya.
And why
Collab kan.
arrived at Penacony?
PGR pun benda Virgil nak kena pull.
It's full of surprises. Soon after the ripples of the Charmony Festival had calmed,
Tak sabar tu. PGR global punya.
from Odo,
China dah ada.
the Alfalfa family
Aku nak Dante dengan Virgil tu.
is planning a brand new entertainment spectacle called Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War.
Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War. Sounds like a Holy Grail War is taking place in the Sweet Dream.
That's right, but I have no idea where old Odie got his Holy Grail from. Let me give a brief explanation of everything here. It's said that the Holy Grail is a wish-granting chalice that can manifest any miracle. And the Holy Grail War is a magecraft ritual for obtaining that power. As long as you win in the brutal contest of the Holy Grail War, the Grail can fulfill your wishes.
That daggum Wubba Boot Charmony Festival has only just concluded, and they're putting on a new show already.
Hey, don't forget that Penacony prides itself on being a holiday resort. How are they going to attract tourists if they don't have any events? Besides, didn't the last Charmony Festival have a little accident? I mean, that probably wasn't great for Penacony's image. The family's definitely going to want to find another opportunity to generate some buzz.
Well, I heard that old Odie hopes to make the Penacony and Holy Grail War into a new show that rivals the Charmony Festival, therefore returning Penacony to the cosmic limelight.
With dreams as the gimmick, the show is sure to attract a lot of money and a lot of dream chasers. I bet old Odie is thinking of the same thing.
This Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War program will be conducted in Penacony. The 7 invited participants will summon famous historical figures to fight alongside them as their servants. And the final winner will receive the precious opportunity to make their wish come true.
Chance to make any wish and any miracle come true. Well, that's definitely a nice gimmick. But, as we all know, people die if they're killed. Bullets don't discriminate, so someone gets caught in the crossfire.
Rest assured, everyone, the Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War production crew hereby swear that no one's life will be in danger in the dream. Everyone can participate and watch in peace.
Nanti ada Penacony 2.0 disebabkan ni.
Well, since it's you, Owlbird, I'll leave it for now. So, who's...
Dah tahu dah, semua orang tahu tu. Mayday pun lupa ni. Banyaklah karakter.
Holder of Penacony Superstar, the Soul Glad Festivity, our dear Trailblazer will be participating.
Oh, so the Trailblazer will be taking part in another adventure.
That's right. In addition, Miss Robin will also be a part of this war.
Well, as another Penaconian shareholder, the Interastral Peace Corporation's Strategic Investment Department sent me as their representative in the war.
The Galaxy Ranger Buddha
Dah cerita dah.
will participate in
Nanti nak tengok balik lah announcement ni. Nak baca balik.
Actually,
tadi laju sangat.
Why is a criminal wanted by the IPC participating in this?
Buat masa ni banner dia hanya Firefly Blade Jingliu. Katanya Kafka Silver Wolf 3.5. Selepas yang ni lah. Selepas.
Dreamflux Reef.
Well, apart from those we've mentioned,
aku rasa boleh je diorang sumbatkan terus eh. Firefly, Jingliu, Blade, Kafka, Silver Wolf. Mesti boleh kan? HSR kot.
Apart from local Penaconian heroic spirits, 3 very well-known
HSR ni tamak sikit.
will also arrive
Kalau boleh nak ada 10 banner
and participate in this Holy Grail War. They are respectively Saber, Archer, and Lancer.
That's what I'm talking about. I wonder which heroic spirit will end up accepting a contract with the Trailblazer.
Now, see? This is how you attract
Nampak bazir duit HSR.
Gonna get tons of views. That's why you pay big bucks to get the
Nampak keringkan duit.
As to what stories will unfold in this Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War, and who will forge a contract with who, Trailblazers will have to find out in the game. Here's a reminder that the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail will officially start on July 11th. So
July 11.
Now let's learn more about Saber and Archer, our 2 heroic spirits from another world.
July 11.
Yeah. Saber's dress seems a
Tak ada
little
English punya voice.
unusual now that she's arrived in Penacony.
Oh, this is the planet of festivities.
Tak ada English punya.
Dress up for the occasion.
Exactly right. The King of Knights' new outfit was personally designed by Mr. Takashi Takeuchi. It retains her iconic blue and white colors.
And her iconic ahoge.
That's right. It retains the nobility of a king and also emphasizes utility for a warrior. The lines along her shoulders and her cloak
Sepatutnya dah berakhir.
design of her skirt.
Tak sempat kot. Itu je.
Timeless British fashion.
Voice untuk patch ni.
In the game, where?
Tahulah. Kisah tak kisah je saya ni. Makan ice cream.
いつでも出陣できます。燃えかけ騎士の魂よ。
Aduh kan lebih selesa kalau main bahasa Jepun punya ikut anime. Wow. Nice though. Nice though. Ada follow up ke?
Butter my fudge and call me.
Satu lagi attack apa?
That Excalibur truly shows her strength as a king.
Oh, talk about fancy visuals.
And how come the King of Knights is always stuffing her face? Even in Penacony.
Oh, looks like Penaconian food is very much to her liking.
That's right. You can't fight on an empty stomach. Now, let's see how the King of Knights performs in battle.
Saber is a wind character following the path of destruction. Saber will gain a certain amount of core resonance when she enters battle. If she uses her technique in the overworld, Saber will obtain combat buffs and also more core resonances after entering battle. When she uses her basic attack, she can deal damage to a single enemy.
Oh, ke memang hilang?
As cautious as ever in this new world.
Tak ada.
I see she's still hiding her weapon's appearance and true name.
When she uses her skill, Saber will deal damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets. If Saber has enough core resonance at that time, she'll consume core resonance to regenerate massive amounts of energy for herself and increase her skill's damage.
In other words, you need to accumulate as much core resonance as possible to increase the damage Saber deals.
Okay.
Exactly.
Are there any other ways to obtain core resonance?
Yes, there are. Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Saber obtains core resonance and increases her own damage dealt.
Ya kali buka ulti sesiapa?
King of Nights has dispelled invisible air, barrier of the Wind King around her sword, releasing high-pressure air in the blink of an eye to form Strike Air, Hammer of the Wind King, dealing a devastating blow to the enemy. When using her ultimate, Saber will deal damage to all enemies and turn her basic attack into Enhanced Basic Attack.
Semua?
Enhanced Basic Attack can damage all enemies and provide Saber with a certain amount of core.
Semua?
Also, during battle, if the sum of Saber's energy and the energy she can regenerate
Kalau ulti itu ada enhance
exceeds the amount of energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will immediately take action.
So if you replenish core resonance in as many ways as possible, you can use Excalibur more frequently.
That's right.
Tak semestinya speed
the
disebabkan boleh refill guna ulti karakter lain.
Also represents the noble ideal that was
Tapi boleh je.
hearts of the countless soldiers who once
Tak
fought.
perlu speed sampai 200 rasanya.
Alright, that concludes Saber's introduction. Now
Standard.
move on to our
140 macam tu kot.
the heroic spirit,
Standard kot.
Archer.
Oh, seems like Archer cares about this Holy Grail.
Another The Hunt free.
A new outfit too.
He even changed where his accessories go. Those decorations he had on his chest are now on his shoulders.
Yang ni pun tak ada English.
Dear guest, Archer's new outfit was also personally designed by Mr. Takashi Takeuchi. It has the classic red and black look. The sharp contrasts, reminiscent of a blazing fire in the deep night, imbued with a dangerous allure.
Nanti tengok ni lagi better. Pisang silly.
Tight combat gear emphasizes his lean figure.
Ni lagi pun free kan katanya.
Attractiveness and strength.
You got that right. Director, show us the game footage already.
Aku suka apa hal dia ada. Dia ada best. Oh.
I am the bone of my soul. Unlimited blade works.
Single target ya semua.
So that's unlimited blade works? Oh, quite impressive indeed. After all, Archer is a seasoned veteran of war.
I am the bone of my sword. That sentence sure brings back a lot of memories.
I agree.
Well then, let's take a look at Archer's combat performance in detail.
Okay, Archer is a quantum character following the path of the hunt. When he uses his basic attack, Archer can deal damage to one designated enemy.
Single target.
Archer in close combat. That's pretty gutsy, I'll give him that.
That's right. But Archer hasn't exactly slacked off on his marksmanship training since coming to Penacony. When using his skill, Archer will consume 2 skill points to enter the circuit connection state.
2 skill point.
To one
Memang main dengan sparkle lah.
While in the circuit connection state, Archer's turn will not end after he uses his skill. And he can continue to use his skill until he runs out of skill points.
Amboy.
The more times you use the skill consecutively, the more damage Archer deals to enemies.
Amboy.
After all,
Spam skill nampak.
that a dual-wielding fighter who can't use the noble
Memaksa nak kena pull sparkle je.
his ultimate. Archer
Bayangkan korang dah ada.
classic chant to activate unlimited blade wax, dealing damage to one enemy.
Apart from damage to
Satu
the
enemy je ulti dia.
ultimate also
Banyak-banyak pedang tu satu
special
enemy ya.
charge. After any of his teammates' attacks, Archer will consume special charge to use a follow-up attack against the enemy targets, while also recovering 1 skill point for the team.
Oh, in that case, there's no need to worry about running out of skill points again.
He just couldn't help himself and had to use his favorite twin blades.
When he uses his technique to enter battle, Archer will deal damage to all enemies and obtain special charge.
And that's a
Satu je ability yang boleh target multiple target.
big
Dia
news
punya
for
teknik.
From when the collab event started.
Dia ability skill ulti dia tak multi-target.
Version 3.6.
Dia punya teknik je multi-target.
Aim to claim the limited 5-star
Boleh
collab
claim
Archer for free.
level 3 Trailblaze.
Awesome!
We hope that under Archer's protection, every adventure
Oh,
the Trailblazers
material dia boleh dapat secara percuma sampai level 60.
become a saga sung throughout the cosmos. We also hope that your encounter, or for some of you, a reunion, with the servants across this vast universe.
Collaboration event till the end of the version. Keseluruhan event. Keseluruhan patch.
How about that? The free new limited 5-star character mentioned during the anniversary celebration is finally here as promised.
Actually, there's even more! Later this year, Trailblazers will get another brand new limited 5-star character totally for free!
Wow! Awesome!
Dapat secara percuma.
Our eyes on the present for now. I'm not
Tapi itulah. Dia perlukan sparkle ataupun tak ada kurang sparkle je.
Also directly obtain a set amount
Dia macam memang nak kena selesa dengan sparkle.
Thoughtful.
Disebabkan nak apa dia punya ability skill tu makan 2 skill point.
Alright,
Cara main pun spam skill banyak kali lagi sakit.
Can use Star Rail special passes and
Lepas tu ada collect event patch.
Excalibur Excelsior and the bonus
Apa banner salah?
to obtain the limited 5-star characters Saber and Archer respectively. In the Light Cone collaboration war, Trailblazers can get the limited 5-star Light Cone, a thankless coronation from Birth of a King, and the limited 5-star Light Cone, the Hell Where Ideals Burn, from Red Radiance of Fuyuki. In addition, pity counts are shared between the character collaboration warp banners and also separately shared between the Light Cone collaboration banners, but neither carries over to other types of warps.
Okay.
It's worth mentioning here that the character and Light Cone collab banners will stay open long-term after the event starts.
Does long-term mean even after versions 3.4 or 3.6 wrap up, you can still pull Saber, Archer, and the limited 5-star Light Cones?
Exactly. These collab banners will run across multiple versions with no fixed end date yet.
Oh, nice!
And here's one more piece of news for you all. Throughout the entire duration of version 3.4, using Star Rail special passes for your warps will bring some special limited time discounts. After the collab event starts, when
Kalau korang pull 200
Star Rail special
special ticket,
directly obtain the limited 5-star
dapat claim 5-star Light Cone.
Hell Where Ideals Burn.
Throughout all
F2P menangis.
3.4?
Tapi itulah kita ada banyak.
In other words, after the 3.4 update and before the collab event starts, any Star Rail special passes used in the banners for phainon or other rerun characters will still count toward the total, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, yeah!
And now, as the collab kicks off, the voice actors for Saber and Archer have some things they'd like to say to all of us. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to hear their special...
Punya banner dah sampai bulan depan 13 hari bulan.
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。セーバー役のカスメ役です。崩壊スターレールとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催ということで、私もとてもワクワクしています。この2つの作品にはどこか似ているものがあるなと感じました。剣を手に運命と立ち向かうセーバーの姿は、厳しい冒険の中でも前へと進み続ける開拓者の姿と似ているのではないかなと思いました。収録中はフェイトとスターレールの世界観が混ざり合い、新たな魅力が生まれていくのを感じました。あまり多くは話せないのですが、セーバーがスターレールの世界でどのように信念と理想を貫いていくのか、ぜひお楽しみください。このコラボがたくさんの皆さんに楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。星々と聖杯が交わる旅の中で、あなただけの熱い思いとロマンに出会えますように。
Aku baru perasan ada subtitle.
開拓者よ、 あなたが私のマスターか。
Aku baru pasal ada subtitle situ.
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。
Baru pasal.
フェイトステイナイトでアーチャーを担当しております声優の諏訪部純一です。崩壊スターレイルとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催となります。赤い九兵は
Aku tengah tulis kod.
旅してきましたが、ピノコニで繰り広げられる聖杯戦争は彼にとってこれまでとは全く違うものになるのではないでしょうか。崩壊スターレイルの世界でアーチャーが戦う姿が見られるのが本当に楽しみです。おなじみのキャラクターたちが未知の銀河で自分をどのように再定義していくのか、その行方をぜひ見届けてください。収録の際にアーチャーの戦闘シーン見せていただいたんですが、アンリミテッドブレードワークスの演出がとってもかっこよかったです。いや、気に入りました。素晴らしかったです。今回のコラボ企画の中でもアーチャーのかっこよさ存分にお楽しみいただけると思いますので、絶対にプレイしてくださいね。これはまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
Alright! Big thanks to our voice actors for those thoughtful messages. With the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collab about to launch, we want to take this opportunity on the program to sincerely thank all our partners in this collaboration. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Kinoko Natsu and Mr. Takashi Takeuchi for their unwavering support from the earliest planning stages to the final implementation. And thank you to the Animation Production Committee and everyone else involved for all their hard work on this collab.
Y'all are much appreciated.
Honestly, it's only with this kind of dedication that we can bring you all the ultimate joy!
In order to showcase the Holy Grail War from multiple angles and levels, the organizers say that they've also prepared another combat-filled program, Fate Stay Night. It was a night with no wind and no moon under the cool breeze of Penacony. The Trailblazer met the red-haired Lancer destined to cross their path. He stepped forward, raising his spear and uttered that iconic line.
The goddess of beauty is the most peerless beauty of them all.
Oh, so it's that red-haired Lancer.
You got it. After the sweet dreams in the Holy Grail War tournament, the genius Skullum made some modifications to the Holy Grail. Now, the Grail can load the simulated data
Berserker dengan
through the user's memories.
Berserker dengan Jing Liu kena sangat.
Users will face off against many familiar and old friends in intense war.
Assassin.
V1 battles. Each contestant starts with unique skills and a set amount of health. Losing a round means losing health, and when your health hits 0, you're out.
Is there a smart way to beat your opponents?
At the start of the game, Trailblazers get some free pieces, each with different classes that grant different buffs. You can merge identical pieces to upgrade them. The higher the piece's rarity, the stronger the buff. Pieces of the same class have bonds between them too. Collect enough pieces of the same class, and you activate special bond effects that give you a serious boost in battle.
Looks like bonds are super important in this Holy Grail War, huh?
Absolutely. And that's not all. Trailblazers can also acquire noble phantasms during battle for extra help. Plus, during combat, Trailblazers can have the chance to get 3 command spells. Using these spells grants additional buffs.
Command spells, huh? Well, I'm curious. What role is the Trailblazer playing this time?
It's player.
This Grail feels kind of off.
Dia boleh buka ulti.
Hell, could it be?
Tak penuh lagi.
You right on the money. Trailblazers can increase the Holy Grail's corruption level to unlock extra buff mechanics. The higher the corruption level, the more points you earn when you win. Heads up, raising corruption level also powers up your enemies. So watch your step, Trailblazers.
Oh, but don't worry too much. After all, this is a reality show competition, and just for entertainment. The organizers of Fate Stay Night have also prepared a special Protected Mode competition. In Protected Mode, Trailblazers can fight using trial characters, and enemy strength is toned down.
Oh, This way, new trailblazers can jump in and fully enjoy the Holy Grail War experience.
Exactly. The production team cordially invites everyone watching to stay the night. Experience some epic battle action.
And score yourself some stellar jades and other awesome rewards.
Now, just a quick reminder, this Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration is split into 2 parts. The Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail, and the event, Fate Stay Night. The Fate Stay Night event will open for play on July 11th. The 2 programs stand on their own, so Trailblazers can dive into each separately.
Awesome! So much content!
All right. Big thanks again to our 2 guests. That wraps up today's Fate Collab Update.
Presenter, your mission is complete.
It's all part of the job. Anything for the Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, my honored masters, let's meet again in version 3.4. See you there.
We hope you'll stay the night.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Dah habis. Dah, aku nak tengok balik. Aku nak tengok balik. Nak tengok balik. Mana yang dia explain pasal ni?
Is finally going live in version 3.4.
Skip button.
Story dialogue can now be skipped by section, with plot summaries and the main characters that appeared in each section displayed along the way.
Dah ada.
Now you can choose the
Ada subtitle lagi tu.
based on your own preferences. In version 3.6, there'll also be a story recap function. Stay tuned. But of course, as we move in after the optimizations, her ultimate now lowers the defense of all enemies instead of just one.
Semua.
Oh, so it's AoE now, not single target.
Exactly. Meanwhile, she'll prioritize adding a weakness that matches the type of the first character in your lineup.
Sebelum ni randomize. Sekarang ni dia pilih
extra energy at the start
elemen karakter slot pertama. Bagus.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier to apply the weakness we actually want.
Next up, Kafka. After the buffs, Kafka's skill will trigger more DOT on enemies. And whenever a teammate hits an enemy target with any kind of attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack.
Okay.
After locking certain traces, the follow-up attack can also trigger extra DOT on the enemy. And using her ultimate recovers the number of times the follow-up attack can be triggered.
So basically, Kafka's got more frequent follow-up attacks, better efficiency applying debuffs, and an overall boost to DOT output.
Yeah, for sure.
And now for Blade. After the update, he will deal damage to enemies based on his max HP. When Blade
Scalar
hits the
HP.
Hellscape state, he is more likely to be attacked, and his follow-up attacks will regenerate extra energy.
Okay.
Sounds like Blake can trigger more follow-ups and use his ultimate more often, meaning his total damage output's gonna spike.
Good observation. A change will happen to Jing Liu as well. Now she'll deal damage to enemies based on her max HP. Each time a teammate loses HP, Jing Liu stacks extra crit damage.
Ja, dia boleh tambah stack kalau enemy pukul teammate. Nampak sekarang stack dia 1.
Each time a teammate loses HP, Jing Liu stacks extra.
Dah ada tambah stack kalau dia attack enemy. Maai lagi cepat dapat stack. Dapat cepat naik dia punya second state tu.
Extra crit damage.
Lagi laju.
Spectral transmigration state. She'll also gain a stack of syzygy.
Pasal ada 4. Lagi lama lah enhance tu ni.
State lasts longer, and her overall damage output climbs even higher accordingly.
Our old friends sure are getting some solid upgrades. But with all these ability reworks, won't their eidolons be affected?
Oh, don't worry, Professor Anaxa.
Fuck.
Some of our old friends Eidolons will
Be affected?
Oh, don't worry,
Enhancement ultimate AoE attack, prioritize ID, dah tahu at the start of the regenerate energy. High chance ability, tu dah tahu. Damage taken 20%. 100% implant, okay.
Friends out of lines will be tweaked to better match the
Apa video ni macam bukan HD? Padahal dah HD. Macam kabur tu. Base match HP. Bila HP teammate reduce, crit damage increase dengan dapat ni dia punya stat lah. Enter max engineering increased, additional 1 stack.
Bam kits, making sure everything stays in.
Ini Kafka, all attack, follow up, increase ally attack.
Someone wants to stick with their
Follow up, additional regenerate energy, using skill, increase target.
previous version of
Probability? Apa benda probability?
their abilities.
That won't be a problem. You can switch between our friends' ability modes freely. So choose whichever version you like best. For more details,
Nak tak nak, aku memang nak kena cuba ambil high scene.
Sounds good.
Alang-alang ada Mayday.
ability reworks.
Dah macam banyak sangat
Friend of ours is getting
sustain.
something new this time around.
Pasal ada skin. Nampak sama ke nampak lain dia punya robot? Macam ada sikit lain lah dekat dia punya ni. Dengan dia punya leher. Ada lah. Ke sama je sebelum ni? Saya lain. Aku rasa dia orang patut tukar sekali robot punya colour sikit kan. Dia macam sama dah ni. Skin dengan dia. Ada stripe gold sikit. Dekat robot aku rasa memang sama je ada gold. Mungkin sikit-sikit lah. Ada sikit-sikit sini kot. Dekat tepi tangan dia kalau dia ubah kot. Entahlah. Sana nampak bila macam ni. Aku nak tengok dia punya model.
With her school uniform on,
Dia punya ni terus.
full than ever.
Tak tunjuk.
And that firefly-shaped brooch on her chest. You can tell she put a lot of thought into picking it out.
Maybe she
Lepas tu ada Mayday. Mayday pula.
The limited
Phainon. Ada 4-star. Boy.
light cone, a brand new 4-star light to the first event.
So ada ni.
The limited 5-star
Freebie, Sunday, Sparkle.
and Sparkle are coming back. Plus 5-star light cones if time were a flower.
Aku rasa yang tadi Archer tu memang nak kena lebih selesa ada Sparkle.
In the second half of version 3.4,
Firefly.
we've got
4-star dia pun aku 4-star mana pergi?
another round of special warp events.
Mana kira tu 4-star dah tak ada langsung.
Fly, Jingliu, and Blade will be back along with the limited 5-star light cones. Whereabouts your dreams rest, I shall be my own sword and the
Aku dah E2 dah.
Two of our newly buffed old friends are making a comeback in this version. What about Kafka and Silverwolf?
Here's a little sneak peek. Limited 5-star characters, Kafka and Silver Wolf, will be back in version 3.5.
Kafka Silverwolf 3.5.
And the limited 5-star light cones, patience is all you need, and 8 new 4-star light cones.
I see quite a few familiar faces.
Ni ada set 4-star baru
Mini
light
versions
cone.
of Chrysos Heirs.
Nature's mattress. Can't beat that level of comfort.
For sure.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Point 4. Stagnant Shadow, Shape of Cinders, will also come online. And you can obtain the Ascension material.
Yang ni aku terfikir. Yang ni untuk si Saber. Sebab dia orang macam tak mention langsung Saber pakai ni. Material dia. Ke ada bagi tahu? Aku tak perasan.
Charred Bud of Twilight for wind characters
Ni untuk wind.
completing the challenge.
At the same time, the planar ornaments, Arcadia of Woven Dreams, and
Sebab aku
Revelry by the
nak
Sea
pre-farm sekarang ni.
also come online. Trailblazers can obtain them in the diverse
An official announcement.
Yang Hayden ni 3B voice actor. Yang ni Phainon. Yang selebihnya tak kenal. Yang ni aku rasa streamer, content creator atas ni. Yang bawah ni voice actor.
See you at Anime Expo.
Well, Thank you all for your kind introduction. Limited Blade Works Collab Special Program.
Ah, long time no see, everyone. I'm aventurine from the inner astral.
Well,
Pakai panel kau ni punya. Tapi macam yang patut aku rasa pakai baru punya pun ada. Sebab patch dia pun sama. Kalau traces dia masih sama ni. Yang lama ada trace yang baru. Kalau kau kan dia tak makan sangat dah dia punya skill point.
Biscuit. That Excalibur truly shows her strength.
forms in battle.
Saber is a wind character following the path of destruction. Saber will gain a certain amount of core resonance when she enters battle. If she uses her technique in the overworld, Saber will obtain combat buffs and also more core resonances after entering battle. When she uses her basic attack, she can deal damage to a single enemy.
The King of Knights is cautious as ever in this new world. I see she's still hiding her weapon's appearance and true name.
When she uses her skill, Saber will deal damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets. If Saber has enough core resonance at that time, she'll consume core resonance to regenerate massive amounts of energy for herself and increase her skill's damage.
In other words, you need to accumulate as much core resonance as possible.
Dia punya burst dia tak ni pun tak mahal.
Exactly.
Are there any other?
Jadi aku rasa si Sunday
Yes, there
cukup dah.
Whenever any ally uses their ultimate.
Dia satu lagi, dia nak refillkan dia punya ni. Nak refillkan burst dia bukan pakai skill saja tau. Tapi bila stat dia ada 14 tu, nampak tak? Bila stat dia 14,
energy for herself and
dia jadikan energy untuk burst dia. Jadi aku rasa Sunday macam tu dah cukup lah. Dia punya energy cost dia pun tak tinggi mana pun. Bukan macam Agalea lah. Agalea tu betul-betul tamak.
Increase her skill's damage.
Dan lagi satu dia ni,
Which Saber deals.
Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Saber obtains core resonance and increases her own damage dealt.
Bila teammate pakai ulti, dia akan tambahkan Saber punya stack dan tambah buff damage dekat Saber. Lagi bagus.
Behold!
Jadi ulti dia senang dapat juga tu.
King of Knights has dispelled invisible air, barrier of the Wind King around her sword, releasing high-pressure air in the blink of an eye to form Strike Air, hammer of the Wind King, dealing a devastating blow to the enemy. When using her ultimate, Saber will deal damage to all enemies and
semua enemy ulti dia.
basic attack into enhanced basic attack. Her
Lepas tu enhance normal attack.
all enemies and provide Saber with a certain amount of core resonance.
Oh semua basic attack dia. Itulah semua.
All enemies and provide Saber with a certain amount of core resonance.
Mantap.
Also during battle,
Stat tu dia kalau dah 14 convert kepada energy burst dia.
exceeds the amount of energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will immediately take action.
So if you replace
Her ultimate generate vehicle
Alah ada subtitle ni, aku boleh baca. Tak ada subtitle.
consuming core resonance exceeds the amount of energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will consuming core so during battle. If the sum of Saber's energy and the energy she can regenerate via consuming core resonance exceeds the amount of energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will immediately take action.
So if you replenish core resonance in as many ways as possible, you can use Excalibur more frequently.
That's right. Not only does this sword bear the King of Knights past,
Maksudnya kalau stat tu macam overflow, lepas ulti tu dia boleh ambil turn, dia boleh turn balik
In
dia.
as many ways as
Dia
possible,
boleh ambil turn lagi.
you can use Excalibur more frequently.
that's right. Not only does this sword bear the King of Knights past, present, and future, but it also represents the noble ideal that was held in the hearts of the countless soldiers who once followed her and
Got that right?
Aku tak tahu, aku suka betul merah hitam. Merah hitam ni aku suka betul lah. Lawa tengok.
I am the bone of my soul. Unlimited blade works.
Ada banyak-banyak pedang ni hanya untuk single target.
So that's unlimited blade works?
Saber, 3B, Sparkle, Adventuring, ngam. Aku rasa boleh je tu. Ganti Sunday dengan aku rasa better Sunday. Sebab boleh tolong refillkan burst Saber tu juga. Sparkle ni main dengan Archer. Archer ni makan banyak skill point.
Indeed.
Sword.
Well then, let's take a look at Archer's combat performance in detail.
Okay. Archer is a quantum character following the path of the hunt. When he uses his basic attack, Archer can deal damage to one designated enemy.
An archer in close combat. That's pretty gutsy, I'll give him that.
That's right. But Archer hasn't exactly slacked off on his marksmanship training since coming to Pentagon.
Single target semua ability dia.
Archer will consume 2 skill points to enter
Bila buka skill, dia makan 2 skill point.
the circuit connection state, dealing damage to one designated enemy. While in the circuit connection state, Archer's turn will not end after he uses his skill.
Bapa.
And
Lebih kurang macam boleh spam skill tu banyak-banyak kali.
he can continue to use his skill until he runs out of skill points.
Boleh pakai skill spam banyak kali sampai kering skill point. Jadi Sparkle sesuai. Perlukan banyak skill point tu.
Heads up! The more times you use his skill consecutively, the more damage Archer deals to enemies.
Lagi banyak ada pakai skill, lagi tinggi damage dia.
Heads up! The more times you use his skill consecutively, the more damage Archer deals to enemies. After all, everyone knows that a dual-wielding fighter who can't use the Noble Phantasm isn't a good archer. When using his ultimate, Archer will recite the classic chant to activate unlimited blade wax, dealing damage to one enemy.
Apart from damaging the enemy, Archer's ultimate also grants him special charge. After any of his team's attacks, Archer will consume special charge to use a follow-up attack against the enemy targets, while also recovering 1 skill point for the team.
Oh, in that case, there's no need to worry about running out of skill points again.
He just couldn't help himself.
Refillkan.
Twin blade.
Boleh
When he
refillkan
uses
skill
his
point
technique
juga.
to enter battle, Archer will deal damage to all enemies and obtain special charge.
And that's a wrap on.
Dia punya teknik je. Dia punya teknik ni je boleh multi target. Ability normal attack, burst dia semua single target.
Up and had to use his favorite twin blade.
When he uses his technique to enter battle, Archer will deal damage to all enemies and obtain special charge.
And that's a wrap on Archer's introduction.
Aduh, yai.
I have big news for everyone. From when the
Ni dah bagi tahu. Level 3 Trailblaze boleh dapat dah karakter ni. Lepas tu boleh dapat material dia sampai level 60. Dia punya collab event ni 3.4 sampai 3.6 version. Dia. Lama, Mat. Lama.
The collab event starts on July 11th and until the end of version 3.6, Trailblazers can log into the game to claim the limited 5-star collab character Archer for free!
Oh,
Nice.
awesome!
We hope that, under Archer's protection, every adventure that the Trailblazers embark on will cleave open the dark clouds and become a saga sung throughout the cosmos. We also hope that your encounter, or for some of you, a reunion, with the servants across this vast universe will bring you all wonderful memories in the days to come.
Yeah! How about that? The free new limited 5-star character mentioned during the anniversary celebration is finally here as promised.
Actually, there's even more! Later this year, Trailblazers will get another brand new limited 5-star character totally for free!
Wow! Awesome!
But let's keep our eyes on the present for now. I'm not quite done yet. Besides claiming Archer for free, Trailblazers can also directly obtain a set amount of character enhancement materials for Archer.
Wow, how thoughtful!
Yeah, this version's got a lot of characters to level up after all.
All right, now let's check out the banner details. Once the collab starts on July 11th, Trailblazers
Guarantee count are shared between all collaboration character banners and separate share between all collaboration. Ya, macam mana? Guarantee count are shared between all collaboration character banner and separately shared between all, but neither carries over to the other type of warps. Maksud PT karakter dengan PT Litecoin asing, yang tu aku faham lah. Tapi yang collaboration dengan banner biasa kira asing. Macam tu. Macam bodoh je ni. PT banner collab asing dengan Litecoin.
Can use Star Rail special passes in the character collaboration warps Excalibur Excelsior and the Bone of My Sword to obtain the limited 5-star characters Saber and Archer respectively. In the Litecoin collaboration warp, Trailblazers can get the limited 5-star Litecoin, A Thankless Coronation from Birth of a King, and the limited 5-star Litecoin, The Hell Where Ideals Burn from Red Radiance of Fuyuki. In addition, pity counts are shared between the character collaboration warp banners and also separately shared between the Litecoin collaboration banners, but neither carries over to other types of warps.
Okay.
It's worth mentioning here that the character and Litecoin collab banners will stay open long-term after the event starts.
Does long-term mean even after versions 3.4 or 3.6 wrap up, you can still pull Saber, Archer, and the limited 5-star Litecoins?
Exactly. These collab banners will run across multiple versions with no fixed end date yet.
Okay, jadi dia asing PT, guarantee pun asing kan, 50-50 guarantee dia pun asing kan. Tapi banner dia lama macam tu sampai 3.6. Nasib baik aku ada banyak pool.
Nice. And here's one.
Nasib baik aku tak build PT.
Throughout the entire duration of version 3.4.
Nasib baik tak build PT tu je. Fuck. Mana ni? Event period after the version 3.4, 2 hari bulan Julai. Oh, banner tadi tu berapa? 11. Jadi 9 hari lah selepas tu. 9 hari sampai bulan depan, 13 hari bulan tu. During any warp in version 3, spend a total of 200 dapat collab dan dapat 5-star Litecoin. Jahan ini jadi maksudnya tak perlu lah nak pull. Jadi contohnya banner tadi tu. Nanti aku boleh dapat secara free jugalah Litecoin dah. Archer nak kena login. Dia punya Litecoin Archer ni nak kena pull sampai 200. Aku rasa boleh dapat lah disebabkan aku nanti pull banyak-banyak dekat ni. Tapi 200 tu. 200. Aku punya baru 100. Apa dia?
Throughout the entire duration of version 3.4.
Dia kata boleh spend dekat mana-mana ke? Itu satu soalan. Kira fee juga. Dia yang 200 ni boleh spend dekat mana-mana banner ke? Itu satu soalan. Any warp event macam tu, spend 200. Ada macam counter kot kan? Lebih kurang macam apa ni, yang standard banner punya counter tu. So banner ni je lebih kurang macam nak paksa pull. Lebih kurang macam nak paksa je. All warp in share accumulated. Kalau lah aku baca bawah ni, benda masalahnya pudar sangat. Dia masalahnya pudar sangat, putih. Semua lah jadinya.
3.4, using Star Rail special passes for your warps will bring some special limited time discounts. After the collab event starts, when Trailblazers spend the designated number of Star Rail special passes, they can directly obtain the limited 5-star light cone, the hell where ideals burn.
Throughout all of version 3.4? In other words,
Yes.
after the 3.4 update and
Collab
before
punya
the
banner
collab
sampai
event
3.6.
starts, any Star Rail special
Ataupun at least sampai ini event period untuk yang ni rasanya. Yang ni 13 hari bulan untuk yang benefit ni. Kalau yang banner tadi tu rasanya sampai 3.6 dia beritahu lah.
the 3.4 update and before the collab event starts, any Star Rail special passes used in the banners for phainon or other rerun characters will still count toward the total, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. Kita baru je explain benda tu.
The collab
Dia orang bercerita dah.
itself, the voice actors for Saber and Archer have some things they'd like to say to all of us. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to hear their special messages.
Aku nak dengar, nak baca balik
こ
apa
れか
benda.
らマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。セーバー役のカスメヤコです。
Ini memang voice actor asal lah.
とフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催
Aku
という
tak tengok anime jadi
私もとて
tak
も
tahu.
ワクワクしています。この2つの作品にはどこか似ているものがあるなと感じました。剣を手に運命と立ち向かうセーバーの姿は厳しい冒険の中でも前へと進み続ける開拓者の姿と似ているのではないかなと思いました。収録中はフェイトとスターレールの世界観が混ざり合い新たな魅力が生まれていくのを感じました。あまり多くは話せないのですが、セーバーがスターレールの世界でどのように信念と理想を貫いていくのか、ぜひお楽しみください。このコラボがたくさんの皆さんに楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。星々と聖杯が交わる旅の中で、あなただけの熱い思いとロマンに出会えますように。それでは最後に、開拓者よ、あなたが私のマスターか。
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。フェイトステイナイトでアーチャーを担当しております声優の諏訪部純一です。崩壊スターレイルとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催となります。赤い九兵はあまたの世界を旅してきましたが、ピノコニで繰り広げられる聖杯戦争は彼にとってこれまでとは全く違うものになるのではないでしょうか。崩壊スターレイルの世界でアーチャーが戦う姿が見られるのが本当に楽しみです。おなじみのキャラクターたちが未知の銀河で自分をどのように再定義していくのか、その行方をぜひ見届けてください。収録の際にアーチャーの戦闘シーン見せていただいたんですが、アンリミテッドブレードワークスの演出がとってもかっこよかったです。いや、気に入りました。素晴らしかったです。今回のコラボ企画の中でもアーチャーのかっこよさ存分にお楽しみいただけると思いますので、絶対にプレイしてくださいね。これはまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
Alright! Big thanks to our voice actors for those thoughtful messages. With the Honkai Star Rail and Face Day Night Unlimited Blade Works collab about to...
Forking hell! Could it be corrupted?
You right on the money. Trailblazers can increase the
Alright,
girl's
itu je.
perception level to unlock...
Dah, settle semua. Mantap. Itu je. Continue benda lah ni.
The buff mechanics. The higher the corruption level, the...
Mana code? Mana pergi? Sekejap. Cara tu dan tak ada sound. Mana code? Mana code? Nanti nak claim. Mantap, 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 mantap. Mantap, mantap, mantap. Aku nak tengok berapa banyak pull sekarang ni. 200 tu. Tapi lambat lagi kan. 11 hari bulan. Minggu depan lagi 3 minggu. 2 minggu macam tu lah. 3 minggu macam tu lah. Hari Jumaat. Tapi patch Hashasa tu akan ada 2 hari bulan. Minggu depan minggu 1 lagi punya baru ada patch Hashasa version 3.4 tu. For lab tu minggu 1 lagi 11 hari bulan baru banner dah. Okay. Yang tu tak tahu. Saya farm dia punya benda traces ni. Disebabkan sekarang ni ada talent ni material apa dah nama? Double. Nak farm tu lah. Jap. Aku sebenarnya nak ni. Aku tak nak duduk sini. Yalah. Aku nak ni dulu lah. Claim. Nak tengok berapa banyak aku ada sekarang ni. Claim kod ada. Boleh claim kau your lab je kan. Tapi aku kat sini alalang copy paste je lah. Tu tahu kenapa dia kenapa dia tutup aku tak tahu. Patut biarkan je buka dia punya panel ni. Setiap kali kita claim dia tutup dia punya screen ni. Tak tahu kenapa. Claim. Mantap. Ada berapa. Ada 167. 167. Biasanya boleh tu. Aku rasa banner nanti aku tak rasa macam aku nak pull sesiapa selain daripada patch. Melainkan aku nak cuba investkan lagi blade Jingliu tu. Tak tahulah. Aku sekarang ni dah sekarang ni nak kena scaling cari relic untuk HP je. Yang ni nak kena tukar pakai HP di mana aku tak ada. Ada ni lah. Tapi tu lah double defense mat. Boleh lah ni. Tapi double defense. Berharaplah sakit damage. Balik lah. Alalang. Boleh kot kalau aku cuba nak ni kan. Mungkin nak kejar C3 sekali kot. Mungkin ini karakter pertama nak C6. Aku rasa biar aku nak buat Jingliu lah C6 karakter limited pertama dekat HSR ni. C2 dia ultimate increase damage, net enhance 80. Tapi nanti dia akan tukar. Nanti tengok lah lepas patch nanti dia akan tukar. Saya tukar sini je kot. Eidolon dia tukar kepada Jingliu HP berbanding Jingliu attack. Yang lain semua sama je kot. Entahlah. Nanti lepas patch nanti dia akan tukar talent Eidolon untuk karakter dah ni. Aku rasa plan aku ni je lah. Mampus lah game ni. Aku nak cuba C6 kan Jingliu je lah. Karakter pertama ni. Yang pertama limited C6. Lantaklah meta. Alright. Itu je lah untuk hari ni.